We got him. Dave Campbell's here, the color voice of the Edmonton Elks. How you doing, David?
Oh, I'm great. My location isn't as tropical as yours. Still a nice fall day here in Ottawa, but you look like life's cool here or wherever you are. South Florida, you said?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as they say, going to be staying for a spell. Loving life, Dave, for sure. And watching my CFL games down here, too. Of course, you can get CFL broadcasts in South Florida all over America. And, Kay, before we go any further, it's been a topic of hot discussion today on the RP Show, this Tuesday night game, Edmonton at Ottawa. What is the reason behind the night that they've chosen for this game that you know?
This is above my pay grade. So I have no idea. This was originally on the schedule when it was released in early June, because some people thought, "Oh, is this the result of the outbreak the Elks had last month?" No, that was the postponed Argos game, and they'll make that up as part of that dreaded 3 games in 7 days in mid-November. So I remember seeing this game on the schedule and going, "Are you kidding me? A Tuesday game?" So then I had to go back in history to see if I've ever done a Wednesday game. And I did. I did 2 with Brian Hall in his final year as play-by-play voice for Edmonton football team, and we called both preseason games on a Wednesday. So I will have done every single day of the week as far as calling a game for Edmonton. So I don't know. It's strange, and we're seeing polls now pop up online. Should their games be any day of the week, or should they be Thursday through Saturday? And I'm of the Thursday through Saturday kind of thinking here. So I don't know, but we're here and we're going to play a football game here tonight in Ottawa.
Hey, I get it. And Dave, I think this is one of the reasons why you and I have gotten along so well over the years, because we see things, forgive me for saying, because I know sometimes you think I'm a little whack, but a lot of the times the same way. For instance, the game's on a Tuesday night. I don't care if it is Wednesday at 6 a.m. It's on the schedule. I'll go call it. We don't look into these things. So but you get why people think it's odd that they are playing a Tuesday night game, which by the way, I said there's always reason. Every CFL game has interesting storylines. For me, this one tonight is Jamie Elizondo's return, Greg Ellingson's return. Unfortunate that Trevor Harris won't be making his return. But what's sexy about this game other than the 2 points that are on the line?
Well, I think this could be a revenge game for the Elks, being that they dropped the Week 1 game in Edmonton 16-12 in a game where the defense dominated a Red Blacks team that couldn't move the offense. And 3 of the 6 games for the Red Blacks, they have failed to score an offensive touchdown, including the game they won in Edmonton, because Abdul Kenna had a pick 6, and that's what really sealed the win. So there was a lot of talk at practice this week. We remember that game, and we felt we let that one slip away. And this team is also 2-0 on the road compared to 0-4 at home, which is unbelievable. I mean, if you go back to 2019, they've lost 5 in a row, and I think it's something like 7 of their last 8 or 8 of their last 9 at home they've lost. So that's very unusual. So they've been a better road team than they have been a home team. And then, like you said, Trevor Harris won't be making his return. That's 2 seasons in a row now that he's been injured and won't be making his return. Although tonight he's technically healthy, but he's on the reserve list. So he will watch Taylor Cornelius make his second straight start. And you go back to Jamie Elizondo. I always think Jamie Elizondo and Trevor Harris have a most interesting relationship. And I think Elizondo has put some heat on Trevor Harris at times this season for his play. But you listen to how he talks about Taylor Cornelius. I mean, this was a good quarterback at Oklahoma State, played with Chuba Hubbard, who's from Sherwood Park, who's doing good things for the Carolina Panthers. And then Cornelius and Elizondo are with Mark Trestman's team in the XFL with the Tampa Bay Vipers. And Elizondo has all the time in the world for Cornelius, loves his poise and his ability. Big quarterback, 6'6", can move, has a good arm. And I think he wanted to give him the full reps instead of 1 day of reps going into the Winnipeg Blue Bomber game at home. Even though Trevor Harris got pulled off the 6th game, that kind of created a bit of a storyline there, but we're not going to see him tonight. So it's going to be interesting. This is a game that the team cannot drop as far as the Elks are concerned. They need to get to 3-4. if they want to make any sort of hay in the West Division, because you've got 2 games in a row coming up against the Bombers.
Well, we've been talking about ratings and attendance and so forth, and I'm sure you hear the same things in Edmonton. It's a tremendous CFL market. But Taylor Cornelius versus Caleb Evans, I mean, this could be the next coming of Matt Dunnigan versus Doug Flutie, as far as we know, but it's not. I mean, that probably doesn't help for ratings. What do you think about the quarterback matchup?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the youth movement, right? And Dominic Davis, Matt Nichols, they're on the 6-game injured list. And, the talk in Ottawa here is, here, so Caleb Evans is going to start and Taryn Christian's the backup. We're going to see both of them. And I think the thought in Ottawa is good. We're getting tired of seeing all the usual suspects, because it hasn't been very good with Matt Nichols or Dominic Davis this year. And of course, Davis, he goes back to 2019, 2018 here. So yeah, Caleb Evans was a big star at Louisiana Monroe, threw for a lot of yards, touchdowns, can run. Taryn Christian had a lot of looks in the NFL. He's from South Dakota State. He can also throw and run, but we have no idea who these guys are. No training camp. They have preseason games, and the same goes for Cornelius. We didn't see him in the preseason because there wasn't a preseason. So they have to take their lumps now in a regular season game. So, I mean, for me, that's a very intriguing storyline as well. But as far as the ratings go, it's not a sexy matchup at all. But if you're a fan of the game, and if you're an Elks fan, a Red Blacks fan, a CFL fan, I think there's enough curiosity, even though it might be a dumpster fire, or it could be a masterpiece. I think there's a lot of interest and a lot of curiosity going into this game and intrigue. So I'm looking forward to it. But, it just goes back to how strange this season is, even though it's great to have the league back on the field. But, we're seeing, the debate, preseason, no preseason. I think this is maybe the downside of no preseason games is we have no idea what these 2 Red Blacks quarterbacks will be able to do on the field in a live game situation. And Cornelius, we saw it once, but we'll see what he can do for an encore.
Hey, last one, Dave. How concerned are they in Edmonton? I know the fans are fairly concerned with this spate of games against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I zeroed in on something you said here. This is basically must win tonight for the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah,
after tonight, you'll have 7. After tonight, you'll be at the halfway mark. So how concerned are the Elks about the second half and getting into the playoff?
Well, after tonight, like you say, there's 7 games left. You got 3 of them, I believe, at home. You got 1 in Winnipeg. And then after that stretch, then you have that 3 and 7 where you're in Regina on the 13th. You're in Toronto for that makeup game that was missed in August on the 16th. And then they're in Vancouver to end the week on the 19th. So, they basically have 5 games, including tonight, to make as much ground and to put themselves in the best position possible in those 3 games in 7 days. And I know, football speaking, this, Rod, well, that's way off in the distance. We're not thinking about that, but it is looming larger because we're getting closer to it. So this team's already 0-4 at home, which is shocking. They're falling behind in the West. I mean, they're 3 games behind the Riders. They're, if they win tonight, they'll be just behind the Lions. They're behind the Bombers. And like you say, we've talked about that back-to-back, and you got to go to Winnipeg next week. And that is a tough place to play. So if they drop this one tonight, I think you could almost put the season on ice. If they win, it's basically survival. They're still in the mix. And you can't drop this game tonight. You can't. So the fan base is worried. There's a lot of angst in Edmonton, I think, about this team. And I don't know what to say about this team identity-wise yet, and, where they are, as far as the process of becoming the team you need to be, aside from the wins and losses. I'm just not sure. They have a lot of veterans, and they don't seem to be meshing on every part of the game. Their defense is not too bad. Their special teams are still an issue, and it's always been an issue, especially the return game. The offense moves the ball, and they don't score. So we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, I can't expect a high-scoring game tonight. I think it's going to be a bit of a low-scoring game, and I would expect the Elks at some point to pull away, but you have no idea. So, but if they drop this one tonight, boy, I think you can almost say it's curtains.
Well, you're a tremendous salesman. Must win for the Edmonton Elks tonight. You sold me. I'll be listening from South Florida. David, thank you for the time. I really appreciate it on a game day.
Thanks, my friend. Take care, Rod.
Dave Soupy Campbell checking in from the nation's capital. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Peterson Show here on YouTube.